You know, this community does have a massive habit. They always kind of jump to complain about how some heroes are just blatantly better than others and how some heroes can kind of just play the game for you. And honestly, that's me included. But if you're just a good player, does what hero you choose really matter in regular matchmaking? Obviously, I know when it comes to the higher tier lobbies, meta heroes are key and almost honestly mandatory for things like confirm ganks. But this channel has never been focused around that level of play. Only ever has been about just casual for honor. So I've decided to answer this question myself by pairing with my friend Fudge, and we're going to be playing 6 games in a row. 3 of these games are going to be played with my most comfortable heroes in the roster, and the other 3 being the top 3 most overpowered Dominion heroes. Now, we all have different values on what heroes are overpowered, and honestly, there's some tier lists that make me question reality. So I'm going to go off heroes that I believe that are the strongest in Dominion, and these are my 3 heroes. For the overpowered category, I'm going with heroes like Pirate, Varangian Guard, and Shinobi for obvious reasons, and for my top 3 most played, I'm going with Warden, Centurion, and then Lawbringer. If you have a problem with who I've labeled as overpowered, I mean, I don't know, go to Reddit and complain about me. You wouldn't be the first. How this challenge will work is that I'm going to document each game, heroes' high points and low points in overall team fights and everything, showing the overall KD of each game and testing my theory, does picking blatantly strong heroes actually provide you with a significant advantage, or does picking who you are comfortable with prove to be a better and more reliable option? And just to add on top of that, the start of each game, I will be documenting any meta picks that are not selected by myself or Fudge, and calculate the total games I was able to play without seeing more than 2 meta heroes out of the 6 remaining players. Before we get into the totally scientific and accurate data, I want to do 2 things, and the first thing is, well, apologize.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
To anyone I've played against with the meta heroes, I only really pull them out when I have to, and I tend to avoid easy wins with them. And the second thing is, if you are new or returning, and you want to support, hit that sub button. It's free, and you can always take it back if you don't like this challenge. Anyways, is Pirate. Now, Pirate is, in no surprise, a blatantly strong hero, and there's no denying it. With the fastest dodge cancels in the game, enhanced dodge attacks, and pistol blast that breaks hyper armor, there really isn't many counters to this hero. The only 2 counters that I can really think of are undodgeable centric heroes like Nobushi and Varangian Guard. Yet again, another meta hero. And just for fun, I'm going to use the build that I showcased a couple months ago for Pirate. So if you haven't watched it, go do it. It's a pretty good video. The first game was an overall sweat fest. An almost rep 80 Sohei and a person on a Smurf account paired to only confirm gank, and then 2 people using VPNs to region hop into NA with over 100 ping. Any game like this, I would probably dodge for the sake of it not being fun. But no, not for this video. See, if I was playing Warden in this scenario or anyone I'm comfortable with, I would probably lose. But since I'm playing Pirate, this game is so easily winnable. And instantly my point is made perfectly. Here, when in the first fight, I start spamming dodge attacks to externally hit the person I'm not locked onto, scoring free damage and keeping myself safe from being parried, guard broken, and counterattacked. While I do die here to a lame confirm gank, I'm still able to take out one of them with the help of revenge. This kill is crucial because that means my team can still stall out for me to come back and mop up the kills I got. Next off is to mid, and Pirate's mid clear is absolutely fucking bonkers, with her dodge attack recoveries not only clearing mid, but also giving me my unkillable build. This next fight, again, is just the same boring confirmed gank players, but they were smart this time. The Sohei, in the most case, told the JJ that the fight is actually harder if they 2v1 me, because he's giving me an external target to lock onto to spam dodge attack with. Imagine that, just for 1 second, a hero so powerful in an anti-gank that it's more beneficial to not gank them. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter, I'm playing Pirate, I won the fight. Next fight, that Shaman comes in, instantly mindlessly feeds me revenge, healing me, putting my build fully online, and allowing me to mindlessly spam Shigoki's indicators till I see him panic dodge and clip him with his own. I started this fight below half health, and thanks to this build I'm running, I come out of revenge with 75% with Tough as Nails health pool. Next, I play this fight really poorly, but guess what? Pirate's broken feats come online to rescue me once again. Not only did Indomitable fix my mistakes, but then the Sohei comes and mindlessly feeds me revenge, giving me more health, also resetting my Indomitable, meaning that when his team comes and tries to help for backup, meaning yet again, I'm unkillable for another 25 seconds. While this game was harder than normal, it would have been way harder if I was playing any other hero, and I genuinely mean this. There is no situation where I'm not effective as Pirate, and the feat combination I had is brutal when it comes to survivability. The second game comes up to Varangian Guard, in my opinion the best Dominion hero bar none. This hero is so blatantly easy, I think I'm scouting a 70 to 80% win rate on her, which by the way isn't normal. Having an 80% win rate on a character past rep 5 should not ever exist. VG's countering page is really small, only neutral unblockables and dodge bashes, and her pros are insane. Crushing counters, mid-chain crushing counters, can't be guard broken on whiff, has a full block cancel that is really easy to react to dodge attacks. It's the full package of what you want in a team fight. And this easily shows VG's strengths in the first ever fight, which was a 2v1. And again, normally 2v1s are really hard, but if we look at the counters, these two heroes have absolutely none of them, meaning I'm freely able to do whatever I want against them and they cannot do anything to me, killing both of them without it even being close. And I'll give you a guess what happens after this.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
The entire team left after losing one fight, because guess what? My entire team was meta picks. Nobody on the casual side of For Honor sees a team like this and wants to actually play it. So for the rest of the game, it was a bot-filled stomp fest with a single person who joined late. To you, my brave man, I salute you for not leaving, because honestly, if I saw this, I would have been gone. And the last and honestly easiest game was with Shinobi. Now, this was not just a stomp. This was not fair. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Shinobi's pros are insane. Ganking potential, revenge stalling capabilities, legend capabilities, and most of all, insane iframes with dodge and double dodge and backflip. His cons are like pirates and dodgeable centric heroes, but he gets more of a pass because of double dodging having the ability to deflect. The other team comp was kind of good, but if they can't play together, well, then they just lose. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. They kept funneling in to what was basically an instant kill gank that had no counter, because that's just how Shinobi is. If there's a person who by chance does get revenge, then I can easily stall most of it out, and then they just die seconds after. Not helping either is the massive fucking pit of lava, where I got like 5 ledge kills just by dodge bashing someone. Seriously, why does this move push so far? This was the fastest game where I only died a single time to 2 longbows, and the match lasted around 5 minutes. Finally, we can stop meta abusing and go into our comfort picks. Warden Up is my first main hero, the one I put my pride and joy into. And I guess everyone else's pride and joy because, you know, the game had 4 of them, 3 of them being rep 80s. Warden's pros are that he has unreactable offense at 1v1 with decent peel on his hyper armor bash finishers and a really strong unblockable. The downside to Warden is that he's just not Warmonger. She's just better in every single way, and don't tell me otherwise. She was already better than him in Dominion, and now she's ranked higher than Warden on the duels tier list, so I'm not taking any fucking excuses. In all honesty, I don't really expect to lose on the hero that I know everything about, but it wasn't very easy to begin with when I die very early to a VG mindlessly just spamming, but I just kept it in mind and saw how she played. Now, other than the presence of the VG that game, it wasn't too difficult, but they had a rep 80 Warden, right? Yeah, but for my league players out there, this is what you call an outright fucking Warden diff. Man, dude, I'm rep 80. So are you. You should know this. Dude, come on. The Nobushi didn't really help either because of how many times she just panic dodged everything. Overall, it was an easy game, but the VG made it alone way more challenging than it should have. Second game was probably my favorite overall hero, and that was Centurion. I'm trying to push him to next 80, so my New Year's resolution is to get him to rep 80 this year. Cent is a hero that can kind of fluctuate between really good, really shit, and really good again, but that doesn't mean he's without flaws. His pros are that he has an insane offense that is unreactable, but his downside is that his team fight can be lacking when it comes to externals due to his heavies being jabs instead of wide swings, and that he can't track externals all too well. Seeing as they had 2 Shinobis this game, I thought for sure that this game was going to be a struggle. Cent can barely handle 1. But there's one weakness I didn't label for Shinobi, and that's his 1v1s. See, if you're a good Shinobi, you know how to push his kit to the fullest and win a 1v1. But if you're not very good, you tend to rely on dodge bash. Well, there's only one outcome if you rely on dodge bash. And if there's one thing weaker than Shaman in 4v4s, it's the mental of For Honor players. It's so easy to break after losing any fight. They'll just lose their fucking minds and pull their Ethernet cable. And it's exactly what happened. After that, it was just a roll. Still kind of hard seeing as the heroes they were playing were keeping them a threat. Overall, another win under the belt. This one a lot harder than the meta characters, but in the end, still a win. And lastly, it comes down to Lawbringer. In my opinion, the most boring hero out of this entire bunch. Now, Lawbringer flew up in tiers of viability, but that so-called viability turned him kind of brain dead. I know a lot of people kind of agree with me saying that new Lawbringer's playstyle leaves a lot to want. Lawbringer's pros are few and in between, mainly stemming from his counter-attacking playstyle, especially when his light parries give him 29 full damage. The second bonus with his counter-attack playstyle is obviously the implementation of all those iframes on his dodge bash. It makes it a really easy option if you don't know what to do. His mid-chain pressure became extremely lethal with the implementation of light to bash. Pairing that with his side unblockables, it can make mix-ups extremely punishing if you guess wrong. Lawbringer's first con is his weak openers. See, Lawbringer's bash is more like just a standstill bash. It doesn't really take him anywhere, so if someone tries to externally dodge you, there's nothing much you can really do about it. Sure, you have the new roll catch, but that thing's pretty useless, and I'm pretty sure everyone already forgot about it. The second con is that now Lawbringer players with these buffs have become extremely predictable, relying on dodge bash way too much. See, with the implementation of the 300 ms of iframes that dodge bash has gotten, Lawbringer players have become accustomed to just dodge bashing every single attack, making them extremely predictable and susceptible to guard breaks. This game was actually kind of hard for one reason. 2 words. Teammates. Or is that 1 word? Ah, fuck it, who cares? This team could not win a single fight, meanwhile me and Fudge were keeping them struggling. I hate to have an ego because I really mean it when I say it, but I was the reason we won this game. See, I realized with my feat combination, I can thrive in one area, and that was mid lane. Regenerate, second wind, and body count could keep me there basically the entire game. So that's exactly what I did, forcing the enemy team to confront me, but ultimately it was all for nothing. Yet again, this game was a struggle, a back and forth, but ultimately everything I did in mid saved our team from the loss that was sure coming our way. Now that all of those games are finished, let's get to my final hypothesis. Is playing meta heroes overall better than playing heroes you are comfortable with? My answer is yes, abso-fucking-lutely. There was a pattern between the meta games and the comfort games that are overall challenges, where the most challenging game I got on a meta side was about here, and the comfort side's least challenging game was way higher. But this also comes at a cost. See, if you're going to sit there and spam meta heroes, nobody, and I mean nobody, will want to play against you. The moment you and your 4-stack lock in 4 meta characters, expect the game mode to quickly turn into PvAI, because guess what? 99% of the player base is casual and solo queuing. They probably just got off work or want to relax, and nothing about going against 4 meta characters is relaxing. It's boring and unfun. So while yes, winning is objectively easier with the meta heroes, you're not going to have much fun doing it, and while you have more challenging games if you play objectively worse heroes, there's a way higher chance you will have more fun. And that's all from me. But before I go, if this video reaches 1,000 likes, I'll do this one more time. Instead of my comfort heroes, I'll play the objectively worst heroes in the minion. As always, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.